The wacky world of MultimediaJay.
Well, the project table is starting to look more like a proper project table with the soldering equipment and the air duster cans and stuff like that, and the three-way light has been rigged up so you have two of them for lighting the corner, and then the third one for a spotlight for the work area. I might just aim all the three of those down though if I need to. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. It's Christmas Eve, and while others are thinking of Santa or manger scenes or snowmen or something like that, or some other like Christmassy type stuff on Christmas Eve, I'm here thinking about how to be a smart shopping nerd or something like that. And how to be good with money. Maybe I'm too much of a Scrooge and I need to be visited by 3 ghosts tonight or something like that. Anywho. So, first and foremost, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you. I know there's a lot going on at this time of year. Christmas itself, I very much believe, is no less than 3 different holidays with the same name. So, maybe we can go into detail on that at some point later on. But, yeah, there's at least 3 different takes on Christmas these days. And then there's all the other holidays going on as well. So, yay, cool, end of the year, gotta love it. So, anyways, I don't get too wrapped up in the whole Merry Christmas versus Happy Holidays thing for reasons of my own that maybe we can talk about some other time. But for now, let's talk about some of the stuff that I've been thinking of as I've tried to be a smarter nerd here. Beginning with this nice little wintertime staple, as far as I'm concerned, Prestone De-Icer fluid. Now, this is the kind of stuff that you can make people jealous with if we have the right weather here in New England, when everybody else is out scraping away, trying to excavate their windshield after whatever wintry crap falls on it, or something like that. Especially if you work night shift. I remember I used to use this stuff at night and get people really jealous, because they'd be out there scraping away. We had a long night at work, we were trying to get out of there, and so we'd be scraping away, and they'd be scraping away, and I would just spray this on my windshield, wait for it to melt, then easily, almost effortlessly remove everything from the windshield and drive away, and have folks who are like, hey, I gotta get some of that stuff. So basically what it is it's a blend of various types of alcohol and other chemicals that have a lower freezing point than water, so even when the temperatures are below freezing, this will still melt stuff in a way that doesn't potentially put your... Those darn cans are clanging over there. In a way that doesn't put your windshield at risk of shattering because of, hot water on glass or something stupid like that. But anyways, so I've been buying this stuff for years, and then last year, though, I decided to read some of the fine print. And I noticed something. Maybe I'm onto something here, but Prestone Windshield De-Icer, melts ice and frost, all the poison warnings and stuff like that. Where is it? For thick ice, you're supposed to use the defroster with it too. Here we go. Under the poison warning, contains methyl alcohol, 6756-1, and ethylene glycol. Now here's the interesting part. I'm probably mispronouncing some of that at least. All the chemistry nerds, feel free to tell me the right way to say that. I was like, yeah, so methyl alcohol and ethylene glycol. Where have I seen that before? Well, I happen to have seen it on plain old-fashioned windshield washer fluid. Okay, am I onto something here or what? Now let's just look at the back labels here. So this is the stuff that you would pour into your car to de-ice, for washer fluid in the wintertime. It's 1 gallon, it's that little tiny thing. But anyways, so poison danger. Contains methyl alcohol, 6756-1, ethylene glycol, 10721-1. Wait a minute. The exact same chemical mix. I don't know, are the parts different or something like that? The exact same, even the numbers match between these two. So is this nothing more than this, and you're paying a premium to get much less of this in this to pay for having it in a spray bottle? I wonder, could this double as a refill system in disguise? Actually, yes, it somewhat can. As long as you don't get windshield washer fluid that's too cheap. I have refilled some of these things with De-Icer washer fluid and gotten comparable results. Well, this winter, I'm going to try it if we get enough wintry weather. We've been kind of roller coastering around the freezing point since the winter started, or since, well, snow and ice season started here, but I'm going to try keeping it brand specific and using all Prestone stuff and see if pouring this into this, when this runs out, gives similar results. Or take another one of these that I have left over from last year, when that runs out, pour this into that, and then compare them between this stuff and the other stuff. Might be worth maybe even making a video about. Oh, the things I think about on Christmas Eve. So if any chemistry nerds would like to correct me on any of this, feel free to go right ahead. But I'm just wondering, with, you know, if the chemicals are the same, but this costs notably more than this, are we just paying a lot of extra money for a spray bottle that we're just going to throw away? Unless we reuse it. Things that make you go, Now, my other little thing that I want to talk about here is going to require the spider tripod, obviously, so I can use both hands for this. So here is a Targus netbook sleeve. I picked this up from the Staples discount rack. They had it left over from back to school season a while back. Only a couple of bucks. The netbook technically fits in here, but I have a better case for the netbook, so I've been trying to figure out what I could use this for. Well, what do you know? There's even room for a charging cable. There's even room for a charger cable. Well, once I tried some things here and there, I then observed that this so-called netbook case, okay, I'll knock it off with the hand quotes, actually fits both the Kindle and the tablet in those cheap Five Below cases side by side. So whichever one of these is better for whatever I want to use it for, I can just bust out whatever device I want. So, and I have room also to fit a stylus too, so if I want to draw with the tablet, although this should probably go in with the accessories. There we go. That little railroad spike of a capacitive stylus. Overall, my experience with mobile so far has been pretty good. I'm very much getting into the tablets and other stuff as well, and I've been having quite a bit of fun. But I've been discovering also the differences between these two types of devices. First and foremost, you're talking on this device, even though it's more versatile and does more, it's more of a jack of trades, and it has worse battery life. The battery life on these things is in hours rather than days, as opposed to this thing. One of the reasons for that, of course, is because the e-ink display, like what you would see in a Kindle, is actually more like an Etch-a-Sketch than a television. It actually changes the makeup of what's on here, so it only uses battery to change what's on the screen. So therefore, these things are terrible at displaying anything in motion, so don't think you can use a Kindle as a like black and white TV style tablet anytime soon. They don't have the processing power or the display technology to really display a moving image very well, but a tablet, on the other hand, will. And the quality of your display, or the quality of what you're looking at, depends on the quality of the device that you get. So what I'm thinking of doing is, for long reading sessions that would benefit more from the Kindle, plus these things, this is not a lit Kindle, and I could always turn off the backlight on a lit one if I had one of the newer ones that's lit. If this isn't lit, and it's just a regular e-ink display, then this avoids one of the biggest issues with all of our screen devices these days, and that is blue light. See, genetically and biologically, we are basically wired, so to speak, to treat blue light like it's sunlight. And then the other types of light we have tend to be something that we associate, because we've had incandescent stuff out for a long time now, and we were burning candles and lamps before that. But for the most part, blue light, as far as physiologically to us, is like sunlight, and it triggers our stay awake type thing, or whatever. So the stay awake thing, or stuff that our bodies do to keep us awake. So it actually damages your ability to get to sleep, even if you're not, if you're exposed to blue light when you're trying to sleep. So a lot of folks have been, and it damages the deepness and the restfulness of REM sleep as well. Now we got some studies going out saying, yeah, dump the blue light if you can, because blue light is like sunlight. So that's really one of the big things too. So if I want to have a long reading session and I don't want to, get this thing down to like 70% left or something like that from 100, then I can always just bust out the Kindle. Otherwise, for the other stuff, I can just use this. And this so-called netbook sleeve gives me gives me actually something I can carry both devices in, and gives me one thing to pick up, one thing to not lose. And the charging cable I have in here works on both devices, which both charge off of off of that little tiny USB thingy there. Something else worth noting with these is that I've had to keep an eye out and be very smart about where I've gotten these accessories from. So, these fake book cases from Five Below. Five Below must be buying these in bulk or something like that, and then getting a huge discount because they're buying in bulk or something along those lines. Because I went and looked up the Verso, the Verso Light Wedge or something like that. I said Light Scribe when recording something like this earlier, but I actually mean Light Wedge. So, but these Verso cases, if you actually type their make and model into Amazon, are actually selling from folks on Amazon for $40. Now, I don't know if these things are supposed to be sold for like $40, or people are buying them from Five Below and marking them up and reselling them, but $5 at Five Below versus $40 on Amazon. But the gouge fest that's going on for mobile devices is absolutely absurd. I pretty much can't walk into a brick and mortar store other than Five Below and expect to not be gouged for accessories, because tablets are so darn popular right now that everybody's looking for every single quick buck that they can make off of the people that buy them. And this has been a problem since the original iPad. I remember when the iPad came out, it was infamous. The very first iPad, infamous, absolutely infamous, for people having to pay significant amounts of money to get something they would already get with a netbook, just because it was the hottest new item. Yeah. So I've been looking into screen protectors and cases for this thing. But if you go to like a Staples or a Walmart or even a Target or something like that, you're going to be like looking at things like $30 just for something similar to this. Or better yet, how about Belkin screen protectors? Little piece of plastic attaches via static electricity to the glass. $30 for a piece of plastic. I am not paying $30 for a piece of plastic. I don't care if I have to buy the material raw and then cut it with a knife to make it fit this device. I'm not going to be getting gouged just to have a protective layer of plastic that I can put over the screen. Plus, I've already had this thing in my pocket a couple of times and haven't really scratched it up. Of course, I am being smart about it and making sure it's on the inside of my wallet pocket, so there's nothing for it to brush up against except for cloth. Don't put it in the same pocket as your keys. These little 7-inchers are actually skinny enough to fit inside your pocket. It's a little clunky and very cumbersome because it's like a jumbo-sized smartphone, but it works, sort of. It's better to go into a jacket pocket than a jeans pocket, but it will squeeze into a jeans pocket. Just with a jacket, because of how heavy it is, make sure you have pockets that zip. But so yeah, I've had to try and navigate the wonderful world of tablet accessories to not get ripped off. And that's why I got this kind of like fake book look, because, you know, I guess people don't want their stuff to look like books. But it's a nice cover. You know, it keeps the rain out, keeps the moisture out. And then if I play my cards right, well, of course, this is why I got the spider tripod. Yeah. And of course, I can always just load them all into this and get the best of both worlds. Kindle when I want to read, tablet for everything else. Inside a supposed netbook sleeve. And if I ever want to use this for the netbook, I can, but I actually have a better case for the netbook that's not a sleeve. So it's actually a formal carrying case I originally wouldn't use. That was originally made for laptops, I think. But we'll talk about that some other time. Oh, there we go. Nice way to nerd it up this Christmas Eve. And a nice way to finish this video as well. So De-Icer fluid and other stuff aside, just run a nice little U-Log app on the tablet here. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, folks. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.